Hi, everyone following at the Buyer Longer TV. It's nice to be back. I've taken a break for the last 1 week. I was on a vacation, and I feel very much refreshed. As entrepreneurs and business people, we many times don't take the chance to take some break and like refresh ourselves so we can come back creatively into our work. Always take the time out for some time to take care of yourself, to refresh so that you can come back to your work and be able to do it effectively. This week, I want to talk about risk taking and the importance of taking risks as an entrepreneur. The last time we talked about the courage to start, but once you started, one of the most effective ways to become successful at what you do is to be able to have a knack for taking risks. One of my professors at the business school, Professor Cohen, said that every rich family became rich because someone in a generation decided to take a risk. And in fact, he said for families to continue to be rich, every subsequent generation, one person, at least one person in the subsequent generation, in every generation, needs to be able to take the risk. So, to be successful at business, one has to be comfortable with risk taking. And risk taking is not about just throwing yourself over a bridge without thinking through the repercussions of your action. It's about taking what is known as calculated risks. So that is, you've assessed the scenario, you've assessed the issue, you've assessed where the opportunity is for you to be able to make money out of it, and you've decided to put a structured bet towards that. And you're doing it either as a one-time bet or as a subsequent systematic basis of bet taking. Ultimately, for success in business, you have to be able to take what is known as calculated risks. So you've looked essentially at what is it that you're going to get back, what are you putting in, and what's the probability of failure or success in that thing. And if you have a very high degree of confidence that you'll be successful, then you take the risk. What usually ends up happening, however, is that there are many business people who have sat down on a single product. That product line is giving them all the money they need, and they're living what is known as a lifestyle type of life. And that's fine. If you want to do that kind of lifestyle type of life, that is good too. But if you want to dominate the world and bring about change across the world, it takes more than that. You need to be able to go forward and figure out ways in which you can move the needle in your industry, and that requires you stepping on the pathway that other people are not willing to take, either because they're too afraid of the risk associated with it, or because they have not done the proper analysis of what the opportunity there represents. I give you an example. Before I started out Arexol, my business, I was earning a very big pay in the consulting industry, but I decided I was going to drop that and focus fully on Arexol. And if you look at that, essentially when I was doing that, people close to me was like, that is a very dumb decision you're about to make. How would you leave a job that's paying you in six figures annually, and then you're going to start earning less than five figures to start a business? But for me at that time, what to other people looked like a very risky bet, to me was a calculated bet, because I had done the business for a bit. I realized that there was a huge upside if I focused on it full time, and so I decided to make that jump. So several years after, I've achieved some level of freedom that my colleagues who are still in paid employment have not achieved. And that is the kind of risk taking that I'm talking about personally. In some instances of rich families that we have studied at the business school, for example, there's a family out of Nepal where there was an immigrant father who left India and then went to Nepal and started selling clothes. And 4 generations down the line, that now has become the richest family in that country. So someone somewhere has to take that risk. And risk taking essentially is going out of your comfort zone, creating something new, out of nothing. And my professor actually always says all the time that the people who are the most successful are those who even concentrate their bets into a single risk. So take for example, we had an analysis of one very rich family that had made his money from putting in fact, all of his investment in a single software company, and he held that investment for over 15 years. And each time, people were still telling him, his financial advisors were telling him, diversify, take it out, put it in something else. And he was like, no, I'm going to keep it. And he kept it for 15 years. And so he turned around what was like a $500,000 investment into over $80 million in return over a span of 15 years by concentrating his bet in a single stock investment. So it could be not just in stock trading. For example, you could think about it in terms of your business. If you think about your business and a specific product that you're making, how is that product going to concentrate your risk and help you maximize your return in that specific industry? There's a space and time for diversification, but initially when we start out in business, it's important to focus. It's important to concentrate all our energies and risk on one single thing and to maximize the return on that single bet. So that is one of the ways in which you can think about it. There are other ways, for example, leaving your job to start up a business, or even as you're in your workplace, starting a business on the side and giving up on all your extracurricular activities so you can concentrate your bet of your free time in your specific business. So that's another way to think about risk taking. And the other aspects in which you can take risks. So for example, I know a couple of people who have all of their wealth in cash. In this day and age, how can you hold all of your wealth in cash when the returns on cash is almost zero? Do you want to be diversifying and concentrating your risk out of cash into other forms of investments? You want to put your money, for example, into the stock market, into mutual funds, into other areas where there is some level of risk, but then there is a calculated return rate that you can earn. Right now, you should not be putting money. If you have a small business and you have free cash, that should not be sitting around. You should either be reinvesting it into another product line, into expanding into a business, or you want to be investing it into liquid securities like treasury bills that currently pay about 6% plus a year, or into mutual funds in international markets where you can earn yields as high as 12%. So there are ways in which one can begin to consider, where am I not taking enough risks in my personal life? Where am I not taking risks enough with my cash? Where am I not taking enough risk in my business? And what sort of additional risks should I be taking so I can live a much more fulfilled life as a small business owner? So these are some thoughts, and it's really trying to encourage all the small business owners that we have following this channel, that for you to be successful and for you to be able to grow your business and your wealth, you need to diversify and concentrate your risks into various risk assets. And you need to be comfortable with making those bets. Sometimes you can make those bets all at once, or you can make it in subsequent installments. But either case, for wealth to be created and sustained over generations, risk taking is important, and we all need to be comfortable with taking those risks in order to create wealth for ourselves and our families. So tell me, how are you going to take risks today in your business? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. I am Mr. Small Business Africa. If you're a small business owner looking to grow your business this year, talk to RXAll. They are leading providers of financing, software, and business practices that can help you take your business to the next level. Contact them at info@rxall.net or visit their website at www.rxall.net.